It's your main man, Made Man, back at it again, and y'all know how I get down over here. We talking boxing. Now, I am fresh off watching episode 1 of the All Access of the upcoming fight between Floyd Money Mayweather and Marcos Maidana. Now, a lot of people may have gotten a lot of things from watching that episode. You know, it was real flamboyant. We seen Floyd Mayweather tossing his money around as always, talking about the Miss Jackson situation. We seen Marcos Maidana looking focused, more so focused on his baby and everything. So those are a lot of the minor takeaways. But my major takeaway from this whole thing, ladies and gentlemen, is I was quickly hit with a emotion of nostalgia. You know what I mean? Because seeing Floyd Mayweather with all this money and cars and clothes and hoes and yada, 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 it just kind of reminded me. There was a small segment in that episode that stated that a lot of fighters believe in their immortality. You know what I mean? We've seen this before. So the question I ask, we have seen this movie before. Boxers traditionally going broke. You know, they start off well, so flamboyant with all this money and all these cars, and they have businesses they invest in. They're something special, you know, at least in their minds they are. And then after either retirement or near retirement or after the fight game has left them, traditionally boxers go broke, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm not saying this is going to happen to Floyd Mayweather, but I swear on everything, man, I hope it doesn't happen to Floyd Mayweather, because Floyd Mayweather is going to go down in the halls of history, ladies and gentlemen, as possibly top 3 to top 5 to top 10 of all-time greats. I mean, depending on how you view Floyd Money Mayweather. But however, he is definitely the #1 boxer of my era, ladies and gentlemen, of my time on this earth of watching this sport of boxing. No one has the skill set of Floyd Money Mayweather. Carve it up, chop it up how you like. Get on the debate about his opponents, all this other crap. We can have that for another video. But this man is going to go down in history as an all-time great without a doubt. And I understand the argument for those who may even present the argument that he's the #1 greatest of all time. I see valid points in that argument. I don't agree with that, but I see valid points in that argument. This is a great boxer. We are going to miss Floyd Money Mayweather when he leaves the sport, ladies and gentlemen. But the fact remains, Floyd Money Mayweather and all of his accomplishments and all of the great things he's done inside the ring, however, it seems to be playing the same tune or acting in the same movie of a lot of boxers that make a lot of money and just go on a spending spree with it and fucking, you know, end up broke in their later years, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, you think of some of the greatest boxers through the eons of time. You can start with like Joe Louis, for crying out loud. Joe Louis, this is a man who made plenty of money. This was the Brown Bomber. This is a man who had 12 straight years of reign in the heavyweight division, ladies and gentlemen. Made a lot of money, ladies and gentlemen. But the fact of the matter is, Joe Louis ended up with so broke, he couldn't even pay for his own funeral when he passed away in 1981, I roughly believe. He couldn't even pay for his own funeral. When he went into retirement, he required medical attention. He needed surgery done. He couldn't even afford the surgery. Rocky Marciano had to pay for the surgery for him, ladies and gentlemen. You can even go back to Sugar Ray Robinson, arguably considered by most the greatest boxer of all time, the #1 pound-for-pound boxer of all time, ladies and gentlemen. This man made well over $4 million, which was unheard of back in the 40s and in the 50s. You equivalent $4 million to today's money, you're probably looking at about $50 to $60 million, you know, in the equivalency or whatnot. But this is Sugar Ray Robinson, a man who made well over $4 million in his career. He ended up running into IRS problems. He had nightclubs and things like that were foreclosed on. I mean, you know, he made bad business decisions and ended up going broke after he left the ring, ladies and gentlemen. Then you can go back to Leon Spinks. Leon Spinks, a man who's been in the ring with many champions, including Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson, ladies and gentlemen. He was a gold medalist, you know what I mean? This man, and you know, he earned over $4.5 million in his career as well, and he ended up going broke, ladies and gentlemen. It's even rumored that as early as 2010, this man is working at McDonald's. This is Leon Spinks. This is a man who's been in there with champions, ladies and gentlemen. In a very, very good era of boxing also. You know, made lucrative purses during that time. Ended up broke, ladies and gentlemen. You want to say, oh, well, those are old school fighters. You know, things don't work like that. Well, let's go as recent as Fernando Vargas then, for crying out loud. Fernando Vargas, a man who's been in the ring with the likes of the Golden One himself, Oscar De La Hoya, you know, amongst other fighters. But Fernando Vargas, this is a man, he fell for bad schemes, you know what I mean? He's a man who fell for bad business investments. He fell with a company called Global Sports, and fitness, or global sports and entertainment. And this was a company that duped athletes for over $45 million. But this was a bad business scheme made by Fernando Vargas, ladies and gentlemen. A man who made a lot of money in his career. Thomas the Hitman Hearns, for crying out loud. This is a man who is a legendary fighter, ladies and gentlemen. He fought during a very lucrative time in boxing as well, especially his division. This is a man who stepped in the ring with Marvin Hagler. This is a man who stepped in the ring with Sugar Ray Leonard, Roberto Duran. This was a very, very lucrative. This was the period of boxing a lot of people wish Floyd was fighting in, for crying out loud. But the fact is, Tommy Hearns made well over $40 million in his career, ladies and gentlemen. $40 million. Ended up running into IRS problems. He had his house foreclosed on. We've seen Thomas Hearns fighting as recent as 2005, well past his prime. It was almost sad to see, for crying out loud. You go back to Riddick Bowe, who was in a great trilogy with Evander Holyfield, which is probably his most accomplished fights, ladies and gentlemen. But Riddick Bowe, this is a man who made well over $15 million in his career. Now, of course, Riddick didn't fight as long as most boxers do, but the short time he spent in boxing, he made a nice little amount of money, you know what I mean? And well over $15 million. And what happened to Bowe? Once he retired, IRS problems. He ended up going to jail for a few years for some shit he had ended up with his wife. Now he's claiming he's declaring bankruptcy. He's trying to get a fight. This is no bullshit. It's rumors of him trying to make a fucking comeback. Riddick Bowe, for crying out loud. Okay, let's go to the man he fought, Evander Holyfield. Evander Holyfield made well over $250 million in his career, ladies and gentlemen. Very lucrative fighter. Made a lot of good money. Remember the house he had with all the 50 rooms and all this other bullshit? This is a man, though, $250 million he made in his career, ladies and gentlemen. Now it's stated that as recent as this year, Evander Holyfield owes well over $325,000 in child support payments alone, ladies and gentlemen. His license is about to be revoked, for crying out loud. I mean, this is Evander freaking Holyfield, that big time mansion that we all remember him having, foreclosed on, ladies and gentlemen. So $250 million earned by Evander Holyfield. And that brings me to the next guy, Iron Mike Tyson, a man that is rumored to make between $300 and $400 million in his career. Now, we do know he had shady-ass Don King in his back pocket, but the fact of the matter is, Mike Tyson still made a lot of fucking money. We're talking up to $30 million per fight, ladies and gentlemen. He got to pay $30 million per fight. I think they gave him $30 million in the Lennox Lewis bout back in 2002, But this is a man who made well up to $30 million per fight. He is now $23 million in debt. He owes $17 million to the IRS. But he made between $300 and $400 million, ladies and gentlemen. That's just a handful of fighters. And those were great fucking fighters the list I just ran down, these were great fighters. What they done inside the ring was amazing. Earned respectable money. All had businesses. All of these things. And these are the same things that Floyd Money Mayweather has. Now, Floyd Money Mayweather, we all know, is fresh off signing the biggest contract in sports history, ladies and gentlemen, where he's getting a fat deal, well over $250 million from Showtime and CBS, So they inked together a beautiful deal for Floyd Money Mayweather. I swear, I hope he does not blow it. When I heard the guy on that All Access episode say Floyd bought well over 88 cars from me or some shit like that, I was just like, what the fuck? Then on the next episode, on the previews, he's talking about showing over 40 brand new watches that he just bought. Yo, man, I understand, like I said before, you make this money, and I understand it's supposed to be spent. You can't take it with you. But come on, the overindulging. Get out of here. Boxers traditionally go broke for this specific reason, ladies and gentlemen. They think they're invincible at the time. Nothing can touch them. They got money coming in. They got more fights scheduled. But what happens when the glitz and the glamour goes out? You have to maintain those things that you bought. You have to maintain those cars. You have to maintain those properties. You have to maintain those homes and businesses and things of that nature. And you don't have the income coming in that you used to. Take in mind, a lot of these previous fighters had endorsement deals. We don't hear about Floyd much on the endorsement side. We hear about the contract he signed, but never really much on how much he makes from endorsements and things. But the fact that we know he gambles a lot. I mean, these are all signs, ladies and gentlemen, of fighters that go broke. We have seen this before. We've seen the writing on the wall before. And I am here. If he sees this video, let Floyd Mayweather know. Slow it down, homie. We know you got it, Pop. We know you got it. But slow it down, bruh. I do not want to be reading an article in the year 2025 about how broke Floyd Mayweather is, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that doesn't happen. That's real talk. So, you know, I mean, I'm just like, man, this is why boxers go broke. Stupid shit. Dumb shit. Ball till you fall, my man. And it's your main man, Made Man, and I'll check y'all in the next video. Peace out. Don't forget to subscribe.